Hey everybody, I'm at Oak Mountain State Park. I am here scouting out the Alabama Triple Crown. This is one of the legs of the Triple Crown. So those people that are doing the Alabama Triple Crown coming up later, this will be the loop and the kind of routes and turn by turn of this particular loop so that you'll be able to see it before you go. Anyway, come join me as we do the loop. Let me show you what the route is that I have in mind. Okay, for the route for the day, we're going to take the blue trail from the north trailhead, and we're going to come up here. Somewhere around here, we're going to take an offshoot in kind of a backcountry trail that's not on the map. We're going to come up to King's Chair. It's a beautiful scenic overlook. Then we're going to take the blue trail all the way across the mountain, some 6 or 7 miles, get over here to Peavine Falls, over to the green trail, take the green trail to the yellow trail, and then we will go all the way back across the bottom of the mountain on the yellow trail to the north trailhead where I'm standing here now. Let's get started. So we start from the north trailhead at Oak Mountain State Park, and we immediately start up a hill. We're going to be heading to the top of the mountain and then going across it. The blue trail is about 6.7 miles, maybe 7 miles. We'll be doing a little more because I'm adding on like a backcountry trail that's not marked. It's gonna be a long day. Let's get moving. Well, a little before a half mile on this trail, as you climb up to the ridge, you're going to see to your left a trail. There are no signs here. There used to be a sign that said backcountry trail, enter at your own risk or something to that effect. But it's going to head all the way up to the ridge. We're going to add that trail on to the established blue trail. Once you reach this place, of course this is summer, and it feels like summer, Alabama's summer, and head up that way. So here we go. We're going off trail here for a little bit. It's still a trail, but it does not have the blue markers. So that's where we're heading now. I'm not going to lie, that is a straight up climb. I assume that's why they don't have blazes on it. There are no switchbacks. I would say a quarter of a mile. Once you reach this rock wall, then you're going to take a left. At the rock wall, take a left, and then you're almost at the top. That's the top right down there. When you get right here, there's a T intersection. We're going to take a left. We're going to go around the ridge and then back up behind the camera. It's going to be a climb, guys. I ain't gonna lie. Well, I'm by myself, and therefore I'm getting all the spider webs this morning. So we made it to another turn. As we reach the top of the ridge, we've taken a left, and then we come to a junction in the trail. Here, we're gonna take a right. You don't head that way. You go this way. We're gonna be heading up this trail, around there, and up to the ridge, and that's where we'll continue on the ridge all the way to King's Chair and get back on the blue trail. Once you've gotten past this little rock scramble on top of there, that ridge, the trail then becomes more prominent on the other side. You're coming from that way over the rocks and down here, and the trail is fine from here on out. It's just a little rock scramble, so it's harder to see the trail, but it's there. There's actually a trail on either side of the rock scramble, or you can go over it. You know, choose your own adventure. Now I've reached a little junction where you're going to come to a sign on this ridge. It comes out of the woods essentially to this little opening, and this way is Eagle's Nest. Eagle's Nest is where the Triple Crown will go. So take the trail on up to Eagle's Nest, and then we'll go back down to the blue trail. There's another little spur that takes you down to the blue trail, and then we'll be back on the blue trail. This is Eagle's Nest. It's a beautiful overlook, not quite as nice as King's Chair. In the winter, it'll be even prettier because all the foliage will be gone. Let's get back on the blue trail. However you come down from Eagle's Nest, you'll see the sign that takes you to the offshoot. But essentially, when you come down off of our loop and our little spur, it's gonna come from there and come down to this little triangle blaze to get you back on the blue trail. Now we're back on the blue trail, and I think from here on out, everything is more established and there's not a lot of turns. We'll see how it works out at the end of the day. if I make it. It's hot. Alabama in June is no joke. The other thing I wanted to point out is just how nice the trails are. You can see going that way, just how wide the trail is and how established it is on the Blue Trail. We've reached a little area called Gentry. I think it's Gentry. Looks like a G. Gentry Gap. If you'd have stayed on the Blue Trail, we'd have come about 1.4 miles. I think we're closer to 2.4 miles, or a little more because of the spur trail that we took. Now we're gonna head up behind the camera and go up to King's Chair. And from there, we'll take a half mile out and a half mile back spur trail to get to King's Chair. It's just a dead end at the overlook. Come back and stay on the Blue Trail. Woo! King's Chair. So that sign that we saw back there a minute ago that said 0.3 or something, that is the turnoff to this little spur trail to King's Chair. This is the first little overlook on that little spur trail. Let's go on up to King's Chair. I made my way up to King's Chair just to see the view, and I think that'll be part of the Alabama Triple Crown. And now I'm headed back to the trail to get back on the Blue Trail and head all the way across the mountain until we get to Peavine Falls. I finished with the spur trail that goes up to King's Chair. There it is, it says 0.3. I don't know exactly, it says 0.4 on the map, who knows. But now I'm back to this sign in this little area where I'm going to now go on the Blue Trail. And we'll go all the way across the mountain. All right, let's go. The Blue Trail takes you all the way on the top of the mountain, essentially. Really, the top of the mountain is up there. It would be nice if there was a trail on that ridge. Just keep going on Blue until we get to the end of the Blue Trail, which should put us at Peavine Falls parking lot. I've done all these trails, but just not in this fashion. It creates a little bit of thought process for me just to know where to go on the turns to make this loop happen. From here, I'm just gonna keep cruising until I get to Peavine Falls, find the green trail, hike to the yellow trail, and then hike back all the way where I came from to the North Trailhead. Well, I made it to a junction. The Blue Trail goes that way. The gorge overlook is up that way. And I think this is the route down to Peavine Falls, and I'm gonna take that. And then, yeah, there's the Falls Creek and the parking lot. I didn't see that sign. That shows you why I'm out here, because I gotta make sure I see all the signs. Let's go down to the falls and then come back up here. And this will kind of be a spur, and then we'll head to the parking lot and find the green trail. So, let's see the falls. I made it down to Peavine Falls. Essentially, when you take that 0.3 sign I just showed you, you go down and then you take a right. So you go down and take a right if you want to go to Peavine Falls. And then at the bottom here at Peavine Falls, there'll be a sign for parking lot. But here is Peavine Falls. Here is the parking sign down at the bottom of Peavine Falls. You can't miss it, and you head back up. And then we'll find the green trail, hopefully, at the top. As I climb my way out of Peavine Falls, I think it's important to know that you're essentially 8 miles in, including the spur loop that I did, or the spur, around the backside of Eagle's Nest, to Eagle's Nest, and then back down to the Blue Trail. We're just going up here and we'll keep going and see what the end's gonna be. I made it to a couple of benches, so I thought I'd take a little rest here. So let's go the gravel road and now find the green trail. We started here, we came up here, and then kind of came around to here, all the way up to King's Chair, came across the ridge, and we are here. Now we got to find the green trail, go all the way back to the yellow trail, then take the yellow trail to the north trailhead. I made it to the parking lot, and that sign that you saw was on the other side of the parking lot, right over there. You go across the parking lot, and then you're gonna see a little opening right there. And that opening across the parking lot is the green trailhead. So that's where we need to be. This is my first time, I believe, on the green trail. I've been coming out here for probably 30 years since I was in college. So this is the overlook out here on the green trail. I'm glad this is part of the Triple Crown because I don't think I've ever hiked on it. It's only about 2.5 miles, but it comes up to the top of this ridge and just kind of hangs out. And in the winter, these are going to be good views. All right, we'll keep moving and see where we end up. Hopefully at the Yellow Trail Junction, where then we'll take a right and head back to the north trailhead. Maybe 9 miles left or so. I'm not exactly sure. I think I'm probably at 9 miles right now. Maybe it'll be 18, maybe more. We'll just see at the end. Well, now I've made it to the crossing of the red trail and the green trail. So the green trail essentially comes from up there and then heads across the red trail. You're at a sign here, a little sign box for the red trail, and then there's bikers coming either way. So watch out, they will run over you. Here's the sign as we cross to the green trail. We continue down the green trail and find the yellow trail. It's almost like trying to find the yellow brick road or something. No, we see the green blazes, we'll keep on moving. Now I find myself at the big junction with a bunch of trails. There is the Jekyll and Hyde trail, and then the green trail comes down behind the camera to here, but parallel to the camera is the yellow trail. So when you get to this connection, you are going to turn right here where it says Wildlife Center and Yellow Trail. That's where we're headed, towards the Wildlife Center. We'll pass that, and then Lake Tranquility or Tranquility Lake, something like that. Let's keep moving on the loop. I think we're at about 10.25 miles so far. So I don't know how far it is back. I'm guessing 8. We'll see at the end of the day. I've been keeping a track on it. As I came to that connection there between the green and the yellow, I realized that if you wanted to, you could take a left instead of a right and get on the yellow trail and go left all the way to the end, and then take the yellow-green connector back to green and back to that signpost that I was just at. You know, I'm just kind of, the way I've always been taught is the KISS method, not the band KISS, but the acronym KISS, which is keep it simple, stupid. So I think we're just gonna take a right at the yellow trail and keep going. Now we come down here to some neat trail, little bridge, and we'll go across here and stay on the yellow. When you reach the top of the hill here, past that little bridge, you can take the turn and go to the Wildlife Center. I'm not going down there today. I've been there many times. But they do have wildlife and stuff there, snakes and different things, birds. Kind of a cool thing to see. Could take a break, see that. Stopping for lunch. Little turkey and cheese, and maybe even some ham in there. Got some chips and different snacks. Still got a liter of water. It's in the upper 80s today. That is probably why I'm not going to take those little extra spurs trails to get to 20. Whatever I end up is whatever I end up with, something like that. I'm gonna eat my lunch here at the outside the nature center and finish out the yellow trail, and I'll be done with this instructional video, route turn by turn, of the Alabama Triple Crown the Oak Mountain Loop. That's a mouthful. Whew. It's hot. So we've reached the main road. The sign actually says main road. And then the main road is down there. This is the little road up to the nature center. All right, let's get back in the woods and continue on the yellow trail. I hope it's not about to start raining on me. I did bring my umbrella. At least I got that going for me. But at 85, 86 degrees, I welcome it with open arms. I will mention, as you're on the yellow trail, first few miles, there's a lot of crossings of horse trails, but it's clearly marked with a horseshoe. Just don't get off on a horse trail unless you want to ride a horse, and then you'll have to figure out something else on this. Once you come out of the woods right there, coming onto this gravel road, you'll see this main road sign to take a left. So you take a left just for a minute, go over this bridge, this wooden bridge, and then take a right back onto the yellow trail. It took me a minute to get oriented where it was. Ooh, it's hot. I would say upper 80s. I don't know why I decided to do these scouting trips in the heat, but it's all part of the adventure. The yellow trail is a roller coaster. You think it's just gonna be at the bottom of the mountain and be flat. Nope. I'm not sure you can see through the trees, but there's a mountain up there. That's where we were at the beginning of the day. Now we're at the bottom of the mountain and making the loop back to the North Trailhead. Up there is the mountain, and that's where we were most of the morning. I don't know what kind of snake that was, but I almost stepped on it. And then I realized it was there. I thought it was a stick at first, right in the middle of the trail. Wasn't really interested in moving along. It was his trail, not mine. When you get close to this pavilion and road area, you want to take a right, because the trail does not go into that area where the road is. It takes a right and goes down this way and skirts around that pavilion. Now we head around this lake. This, I think, is the Lake of Tranquility. I'm not sure how tranquil it is, but it is pretty. We'll go around it, and then we'll have the home stretch essentially to Maggie's Glen, and then beyond to the North Trailhead. Once you get around the lake, you're going to come to the end of the lake, and you will see that there is a trail that goes up the mountain, or the hill there. It goes to some abandoned cabins that used to be up there. That is not the yellow trail or the yellow brick road. This is in front of me. We made it to Maggie's Glen. I think we've just got like maybe 2 miles, but it's a climb, the last climb to get up to the top here before we go down to the North Trailhead. At Maggie's Glen, you just look, there's a white trail that parallels, and you look ahead and there's the yellow trail. Follow the yellow brick road right up the mountain. I'll finish the last mile or so and conclude up here. Thank you guys for joining me on this episode of As the Crow Flies Hiking, the directions, route, and turn by turn of the Oak Mountain leg of the Alabama Triple Crown. See you on the next adventure. Alabama Triple Crown, come join us.